Good morning and welcome to the launch of my latest collection of my Julie's Florals and Foliage collection. Okay, let's hope. Oh, yep, got some people with me. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm just trying to see. I can't see my little microphone on down the bottom there. But it says it's green. So if you could give me some thumbs up that you can hear me. I've got lots of people. I'm sorry, I haven't managed. Oh, there's all those hearts. That's fantastic. Thank you. I'm just going to say good morning to everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, what a morning. Facebook wouldn't work for me this morning, and it was like, no, you can't not work on launch day. To say I was stressing was an understatement. So I have to thank Hazel because, like, I was messaging at like some god unearthly hour, but it's fingers crossed it's all okay at the moment, so that's good. That's good. I'm going to flip the camera in a minute. I'm so excited to show you this. I haven't had any stamps of mine for some little while, really, so it's always really exciting, and I'm absolutely loving these. The design team cards, as always, are phenomenal. But yeah, these I'm so happy with them. I'm just hoping and praying that you love them as much. So yeah, I hope so. But what the design team have made is incredible. Yeah, so I'm going to show you some samples this morning, and then I'm going to save some for you, so some different ones for this evening, and then tomorrow at 10:30 I'll come back on and I'm going to get creative with it. So I'm going to do quite a few lives, I think, because there's several of the sets that I really want to explain why I designed them. So yeah, and it'd be lovely to do some lives. So I do want to say that all the design team inspiration is over on Pinterest. So all the Pinterest boards, I've made them live. So there's lots of inspiration over there. And I know that Marion is planning on doing a video as well. So that will be up soon too. I have to thank the design team. I know Kaz doesn't make any more cards at the moment, but Kaz does bits and pieces for me behind the scenes. So I'm very grateful for that. So I still want to thank Kaz. But also to Emma and to Hazel and to Marion and Joe and Philippa. I couldn't do this without them, and the variety in the cards and everything is just incredible. So, and I want to also tell you who's stocking the products. So they are available from now. Actually, they've been available for 3 minutes. They are available from Dragon's Papercraft, from Wow Embossing Powder. So Wow are a new stockist, so they're available from Wow. They're also available from Barry at Hixie Soft, and from Maxine at Maximum Crafts, from Julie and Barry at Craft Bliss, from Craft Stash, from Joe and Mark at Let's Create, from Gavin at Valley Crafts, and I don't know the other person at Valley Crafts. I do apologise. If you're watching, please tell me. I've got a feeling it's Ian, but if it isn't, I'm sorry. But they're available from Valley Crafts. Also from Jane and Penny at The Art of Craft, from Kate at Mulberry Bush, and they are also over on Simon Says Stamps website in America. So they're all the people that are stocking it. So let's flip the camera and look at the goodies, because that's the bit that we need to look at. And I will go back. All the comments are flashing up and everything, and it doesn't show me all the comments, but I always sit down afterwards with a cup of tea or coffee and go back and read through them all. So yeah. Okay, so let's flip the camera and I will start to show you the goodies. Bear with me. Oh, go on, please flip. Yes. Oh, why won't the camera move? Oh, don't anything else go wrong today, please. Okay, so I'm going to bring them up one at a time. The sun is shining, which is fabulous, but it does alter the light and everything, so I do apologise. Okay, so the first set is called Fancy Framed Florals. It's an A6 stamp set, and in here you're getting, I'm going to put the stamp set behind because it's the light's reflecting on it and everything, and I try and keep that sunlight off of it. How bad is that? Who wants to keep the sun away? So we've got a little square frame with the flowers in each corner. We've got a little corner which obviously really does extend what you can do with everything. We've then got a little heart, which is great for wedding cards, for anniversaries, for Valentine's, just for anything because you like someone. And then we've got the circle as well. And then we've got Thinking of You, we've got Get Well Soon, we've got Sending Prayers, and With Sympathy. And the sentiments will fit, not in the heart one, but they will fit in the square and the circle. But you could always do a little banner coming out of the heart. But you will see what you can do in a second. So that is the Fancy Framed Florals. So there's two, sorry, I should have said there's two A6 and three A5 stamp sets in there. The next one is Special Day Florals. So again, I'm going to hide this and we'll look at the actual, I stamped it out and I listened to my friend Hazel and I coloured them all in because I'd stamped them out and I so want to colour them. She's like, colour them. So I did. So this one we've got the hexagon. Again, lovely little flowers, just my style flowers. You know what I'm like. And then I love this one as well. So the rectangle with the daisies on it. A single daisy because you can it just extends so much more what you can do if you've got those individual stamps. And then the daisy head as well. Then we've got a Just to Say, On Your Special Day and Happy Birthday. We've got a hello, love and best wishes, and a happy birthday, a little tiny happy birthday in a banner. Now these are really lovely with the other squares as well. So all the sentiments will mix and match and just, yeah, wow. When you see what you can do with them, you'll be blown away, I hope. Next one is the Foliage Galore stamp set. So this is an A5 stamp set. I might have to actually bring this up a little bit. Okay, so in here, you've got the big background stamp with all those different foliage on it. And I love colouring, so this for me was just absolutely beautiful. And then we've got the individual elements as well. So you've got the little flowers, you've got a sprig, you've got some leaves, you've got the other leaf one, another like ferny sort of leaf, and another one that's, they're all out of my head. They don't exist, but yeah. Then next up is Elegant Florals. So in here, again, an A5 stamp set. You've got a big border, some sprigs, and a background. So you've got this lovely big background stamp, which is just so beautiful to colour, but equally, oh, you should see these heat embossed. Well, you will. Heat embossed, they are just beautiful. And then the long border one, so you could use that down the edge of a card, you could use that in an aperture, just so many different ways to use it. And then we've got the two different sprigs as well. So I've got some fantastic cards coming to show you for those. And then lastly, I have a stamp set that is called Inspired by Linda B. Now, some of you may know Linda Brown. Linda used to have her own shop. She designs stamps with Paper Artsy, and she's been a great friend for many, many years. And the whole stamp set was actually inspired by this picture that she gifted to me. So Linda actually painted the ovals and then she hand drew all the different elements on there. And I spoke to her and said, I'd love to make, well, it was a collaboration between Marion at our Christmas lunch. Marion badgered Linda so much to do a stamp set. And I ended up saying to Linda, how about if I do it, but it's like inspired by you, and I'll draw the flowers, but I'll try and replicate some that you've done. And Linda was, yeah, absolutely. So we've got different solid shapes. Let me show you the actual thing. So we've got a circle, a rectangle, an oval, a heart and a square. You get them in little diddy ones as well. And these are lovely to add embossed in accents on them as well. And then you're going to get the different elements to put over your solid stamps. So there's the leaves, there's sprigs of leaves. They're not, again, none of them are real flowers, but just lots of different ways to use those lovely flowers. There's so much detail in them. And then I've given you these lovely little dotty stamps, which will be so useful for so many different designs, not just these, but just, I know I'm going to be using these again and again and again. And then some really plain and simple sentiments, but just so that they will really stand out on your cards and projects. So that is the 5 stamp sets. So we've got the fancy framed florals. We've got the special day florals. Then we've got the foliage galore in the A5. And then we've got the elegant florals. And then we have the inspired by Linda B. And I have to say, I thought that this would be the set that people not were least. I didn't expect as many samples for this stamp set as the other ones, and this stamp set had the most samples for. So yeah, it was really interesting. So I'm going to put those to one side, and I'm now going to bring in some sample cards. Right, sorry, I'm just putting them all back on my piles so that I know which is which. So we're going to be looking at this stamp set, and actually if I change that over, will the light, that's better. Right, so it's that stamp set, and then this is my first card with it. So this is a card that I made, and I've used the squares, I've cut them out, and then I've added the sentiments with some coloured card behind them. So that's the first one. And then I did a very similar thing, but this time I stamped the circles and cut the circles out, and then just added a sentiment to the back card, just on that one circle. But it's got lots of sparkle on it. I'm not sure it's picking it up on the camera, but it's got lots of sparkle on it as well. So you can make lots of really lovely, clean and simple cards. How beautiful is this? I absolutely love this card from Philippa. She's used just this part of the circle, which I think is so clever. And this inspired me. I've made another card, which I'm going to share with you tonight. But I thought this was such a clever use of the circle. And just with that, with sympathy, it's just perfect for those cards that are so hard to make. It's just a perfect one. And then I love this one from Hazel as well, where she's used the heart and she used the stamper ring. She's got a little bit of birthday text in the background as well. If I bring it up, see if the camera will focus on that. So it's got some birthday text in the background, and then the lovely big happy birthday, which is actually heat embossed, clear embossing on the top. But isn't that beautiful? That would make a lovely wedding card. You could use the with love sentiment that we have as well, but it just beautiful. And then I was inspired with this one from a card that Hazel and Philippa did. Isn't it funny how excuse me, I never think about, oh, I could join them together until somebody else shows me. So I joined my squares together, and because I have little Eva, who this is perfect for a birthday card, but I used Hazel's letters and her square medley stamps to put the initials in. So if you have somebody with a little name, you could do their name on it. You could if you did a DL card, you'd obviously be able to get about 5 of the squares in, which then means you could do Julie. but it just means you could do so much more. So just a way of using Hazel's as well. You could do one that said hello, you could do one that says hi, all sorts of things. And then this card that Emma Smith has made, which I love as well, with the inky background. I love how she's used the hearts, and she's actually used the solid heart from Linda's collection to fill in the hearts behind, but it's random and it gives you that lovely watercolour effect. It's like she's painted it. It's beautiful. But how lovely is that? Gorgeous. So that is the samples I'm going to share with you this morning, but I have new ones to share with you tonight at 8 o'clock, so please come back. And then next up I have the special day sentiments, so let's share with some ideas with this. And then, so this is one that I created. I've used my background stencil just to add a little bit of colour to the background, and then I've cut out the hexagons and I've cut the centres away as well. I'm sure it's really showing up, but I've left one with the happy birthday on and added some glosses, but it's really simple. I think I'm loving it so much because I love cards with lots of white space, and I think that there are a lot of samples that have lots of white space, which is something that really appeals to me. I do love white space, I must admit. So this is one that I created as well. This is using the rectangle, and I've stamped 3, cut one out, but left the other 2 so I can put the sentiments on. And I put just to say happy birthday, and then inside we've got on your special day, which you can see peeking through the frame as well. So another really simple card, but just that, all the white space, I love it. Then this one, I thought, I could use the daisy for an Easter card. So I used the oval stencil that we have and just put a bit of colour down, and that enabled me to, excuse me, that enabled me to have a border shape of an egg that I could then put the daisies around. And then I've added the happy and the Easter that comes in the happy set, and I've done it with the polished gold. If you haven't bought Wow's polished gold embossing powder, make sure you buy some. Oh my goodness, it is absolutely stunning. Next up I have a beautiful card from Emma, and Emma's combined quite a few of the stamp sets with this one. She's used the hexagon from this set, but she's also used the leaf foliage, and she's used lots of the daisy heads, and again it's all heat embossed, as Emma always does. I love her use of the little dots as well that's in the Linda B stamp set. She's used the little banner, and then we've got the lovely background inside as well. But again, it's those spots that look like little splats of paint, so if you're not confident doing that, just use a stamp. You put them where you want them to be. But it really does change how it looks on your card. It really does add something. Next up, we've got a beautiful one from Hazel. This has got her birthday stencil a little bit in the background on an inky background. We've got some wording as well from her stamp. So again, the collections intermingle. So whatever you've already got, they're just perfect to add a little bit more to. On here, we've got the dinky hexagon die, and then Hazel stamped on there. So again, they're perfect to mat and layer your stamping onto those die cuts. So if you've got those dies already, I love how Hazel's changed the orientation of the hexagon as well. So you've got flowers on the side, you've got them at the top, you've got them at the bottom. So it just is really going to work whichever way round you put it. Just gorgeous. And then this lovely one from Philippa. Again, Philippa has brought in the stencils that we've got. This is from Backgrounds 1. She's actually done a little bit of stamping on there as well with the wording. And then she's used the wording in black for the background paper. Isn't that fabulous? And then just lovely bit of stamping, bit of colouring, and she's cut out the rectangle. Oh, gosh, wow. Philippa has cut that out and stuck that on. That's amazing. You could mask it as well if you wanted to, if you weren't, but Philippa's cutting out is incredible. So that's another beautiful one from Philippa. And then another one from Philippa. And I love how she's done this. It looks just like honeycomb. She's even used the honeycomb die from the sunflower stamp die set. I love the white on the craft, but also the brown on the... Isn't that beautiful? And then that bit of white smudging ink around it as well. It's gorgeous. Really, I mean, how different do they all look? Such variety. This is why you really must go onto the Pinterest boards, because to be able to see all the design teams work there, to see so much variety and different styles, I just love it. Okay, so that is the special day florals. So next up we've got the Foliage Galore, and I have to say this was probably my favourite card. Well, it was my favourite card that I made. I did Hazel's inky technique where I inked up the stamp in different colours and then stamped it out and spritzed it, left my stamp in the stamping press so that I could go back over and do it in the black as well. So it was, all of these were just actual stamps. So I inked the stamp up with twisted citron, probably peacock feathers, a bit of chipped sapphire in there, and it looks like a bit of mowed lawn, but just love it. And then I cut it in half, well, not in half, but cut it and just opened it up so that I could add the sentiment inside. Then this then took over as my favourite, because for me you can't beat a rainbow card. So I stamped and cut out lots of leaves, and then I coloured them with my pencils, and I coloured some purple and blue and green, and then yellow and orange and pink, intermingled them, and I die cut a circle in my card, and then I put it inside with a little bit of stamping on, and then obviously with my sentiment as well, and then that's got some sparkle on it from glitter glue. Oh, it is picking it up a little bit. So that's probably my favourite card that I made now. Then there's a beautiful one from Philippa where she's used circles, so made a stencil from dies, and then she's inked through and added her leaves, like masked them off, the little dots as well that she's used. Imagine that in lots of different colours. It's absolutely gorgeous. Then we've got one here from Hazel, which is, again, another beautiful one. I love, Philippa's done this with the wording, but how Hazel's used black and white in the background and then pulled out elements in colour. Got her sentiment here from her sentiments that she's recently had, and then just added a black and white cut out leaf on the top. Incredible, absolutely incredible. That background, that would make such a lovely paper. Beautiful. And then this one that Philippa has done, where she's stamped the big background, and then she's stamped it onto papers as well and added strips, just those rainbow strips. It's lovely, really, really clever. And she's layered it up onto the black, it's almost like a spotlight, but a big spotlight. Really lovely. And then one that I did, I'd coloured this in and wanted to use it, didn't want to waste it. So I've used it with a polished gold Happy die cut, and then I've die cut my birthday in the same colour that I layered the Happy onto. So it's got birthday here. I think maybe I need to do a bit of glossy accents on it just so it lifts it a little bit more. But it's lovely, that polished, oh, beautiful. So they're my samples for this morning for the Foliage Galore. Probably one of my favourite. Well, I love them all, actually. I don't have a favourite stamp set. Every time I pick them up, it's like, oh, I could do this with this, and I love it when you get a stamp set that it's just, you can't stop thinking about what you can do with it. To me, that is a really, really great stamp set, when you just keep getting ideas and ideas and ideas. And I've run out of time. I really have. So again, this is another one of those inky techniques that Hazel taught me, where you ink the stamp up, stamp it down and spritz it so it bleeds, but leave your stamp in so you can overstamp with black. And I just love this. And then I die cut a hexagon. This is from the original one, I think, the original layers, frames and banners. I've stamped my sentiment on it, and then I die cut another black one, so it was flipping it, so it was opposites, but it's like just got the panel down the side, just for something a bit different. I really loved that card. And then I got a beautiful one from Hazel, where Hazel's die cut the happy birthday out, but she stamped the wording underneath. I don't know if you're going to pick it up. It's really clever. So she's got the happy and the birthday stamped on the background of her card, and then she stamped the flower on another panel and raised it. But the die cut, you're seeing, it's really clever. You're seeing the die cut through, or the wording through the die cut. Very clever. Love that monotone, just one colour card as well. Beautiful. Then I had to stamp this on the background on a piece of that grey cardstock that Hazel had that you bleached. So I know that some cards will work, but I just had to do it on there. So it's just stamped in black with clear embossing powder over it. And then I splattered the bleach on the grey. And I love it on the craft. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. Then another gorgeous one from Philippa. I mean, just how different they all look. Again, you really do need to check out all the inspiration. Philippa has used her stencil, so Hazel's circle stencil, to create the background in 3 different colours. She stamped the border top and bottom, which I love. Hadn't thought to do that. Thank you, Philippa. And then she's coloured purple and orange and pink across her card. Just gorgeous. And then those little simple sayings on there in that lovely font, just embossed in white on black cardstock. Then I've got a beautiful one from Emma. Again, I love how Emma's done this. Emma loves white heat embossing. And again, she's done one up, one down, which I hadn't thought of. I know that's really sad, but I hadn't. And she's done this lovely inkiness around it. So just pulling out a little bit of detail in the leaves, but just pulling that white embossing really to come to the forefront by adding that colour behind it. And then with Hazel's happy birthday as well, just with a little bit of inking behind it on white embossed onto white card. It's stunning, absolutely stunning. And then this is one that I made. I've used the polished gold, and look how detailed those sentiments are. And it says, just to say, on your special day, have a magical birthday. And I stamped and cut out the flowers, and then I cut an aperture in my card so that you can see them through the aperture. Yeah, so that's the Elegant Florals. So they're the samples for now, but again, like I say, I've got more to show you for tonight, new ones, so do come back. And then lastly, I have Linda B's stamp set. Now I'm going to bring the picture back in because this is what inspired the whole stamp set in the first place. So Linda sent me this as a present for my birthday. Absolutely loved how she'd watercoloured the ovals, all the different flowers that she'd put in there. And I did speak to her and ask her, and she was quite happy for me to try and copy some of her flowers in how I interpreted them, if you like. And we've got the different shapes. So we went with a square, an oval, a rectangle, a circle, a heart, but you get them in 2 sizes. So these are lovely to create your backgrounds like the ovals that Linda has. And then these little ones are really nice to do gold embossed, like maybe over the top of some of your backgrounds. And all the lovely flower designs that you're going to make it so easy to get creative with. So I was really touched. Linda actually is having some work done at home. She's having a new kitchen fitted, and she doesn't have a craft room at the moment, but she managed to pull some bits and pieces together because she said, I've got to make some cards. So this is one that Linda made, which this to me just sums it up totally. That card is beautiful. There are the little dots in the background. She's got such lovely soft colours using her ink pads straight onto those solid oval shapes and just stamping them out. Absolutely beautiful. I love this little dinky. This could be a tag on a birthday present. But again, the little square, she's used the solid hearts over the top. She's used some of her dots and the wording as well. The stamp wording's lovely. Another beautiful one using the heart and those, and I would never have thought of doing the flowers like that, but how lovely does it look? It reminds me of Rennie McIntosh for some reason. But she's got lovely little pearls as well that she's added to the tops of her flowers. And then another beautiful little birthday card. So she's used some different florals, coloured them in, added little gold accents with her pen. But again, just stunning. So they're Linda's cards. Then this is one that I did where I've inked up on my solid stamp and I've spritzed it with some water before I stamped it out. And that way you're going to get lots of different effects. And then I've just stamped over the top with some of the leaves and added some of the wording. And then one of my sentiments that we did with the banners recently. And these are perfect. I think this would make great men's cards as well. So something a bit different that I'd be quite happy to send to a male friend. And you could do it in any colourway that way. This is one that Hazel's done where she's used the solid heart. She's made it bleed a little bit, which is lovely. Absolutely gorgeous. And she's added the little flowers and then she's repeated them along the bottom, which is really, really lovely. Like that. And then I love this one that Hazel did where she's used the different shapes, the squares and the oblongs, and she's used the little ones too, done them in different colours and just used parts of the stamps as well. But again, that's a great card for a man. Just make it in manly colours if you want, different blues and greens or browns and coppers and stuff like that would be lovely. I love this one as well that Philippa has done. Now, I think, Philippa, and I know you're watching so you can tell me, but I think you've actually inked the shape up and then stamped onto the shape and then stamped the shape out. So you've inked, say, grey, you've stamped the flowers, which takes the ink off, and then you've stamped it out. But I think that is right because I love how you've got the white effect on those colours, and that's because you've actually taken the ink away. So I think that's correct. But you can tell me if I'm wrong, Philippa, I won't mind. You kiss stamped it. Yes, so that is right. Lovely one from Hazel again. I love how she's masked an area, added the flowers. Love how she does that when she does like her first and second generations as well. Got a little bit of a dictionary definition up in the top corner as well. And that lovely inky background to take those flowers. Just gorgeous. This one I made, which was having the little squares. And I heat embossed a sentiment and some leaves on the top. And then used the dots. I embossed and I also did them in colours as well. So again, I inked up my solid and then spritzed it. I will be doing that as part of my demo when I'll do that tomorrow. This is one that I made, but very Hazel inspired, where I've stamped lots of different times. So first and second generation, inked up and stamped one of the designs, that lovely polished silver, and then did the same. I did another inky strip and then did the same for my sentiment. Excuse me. Oh, I need a cup of tea. Okay, so this one was a nice inky background. Again, inked up the solid shape, spritzed it, stamped it out, and it's got a simple heat embossed with polished silver, one of the leaf sprigs on the top. So really simple, but they just look so effective. Be lovely to make a collection of these, like say, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 in a box and send it to somebody as a gift. And then this one from Philippa, again, absolutely beautiful. Love how she's done the heart, but she's got the white again, so she's kissed it. So she stamped it before she stamps it, the actual heart out. And then she's done the flowers around the edge, which I love that as a border. She's used her dinky square dies. Just absolutely perfect. So I think that is all I'm going to show you. Right, let me bear with me a minute. Let's flip the camera back. Let's try and, I don't like to say this, but block that sun out. I don't like to say that because I've wanted to see the sun so much. We've had so much rain. Why won't it go back a bit? That's better. No, I don't know what's going on with my phone. Never mind. Okay, I'm not going to risk it because we're nearly there. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing that. I was going to run through the list of stockists again. Bear with me because my computer's gone to sleep and it was up on my computer. So they are available from Hazel and Paul at Dragon's Papercraft. They're available from Wow Embossing Powder. They're available from Barry at Hixie Soft Crafts, from Maxine at Maximum Crafts, from Julie and Barry at Craft Bliss, from Craft Stash, from Joe and Mark at Let's Create, from Gavin and I think it's Ian at Valley Crafts, from Jane and Penny at The Art of Crafts, and Kate from the Mulberry Bush, and also they are over on Simon Says Stamps in America. So the Pinterest boards are live, so please head over there and get some inspiration if you need it. Philippa will be on at 10 o'clock, so I didn't go on too long, Philippa. She's got another fantastic Technique Tuesday, and it's using the new collection. So I'm going to make a quick cup of tea, read the comments, and then I shall sit down and watch Philippa do that, which will be fabulous. So that's back here at 10 o'clock. And you will find the list of stockists pinned to the top of my Julie Hickey Designs Facebook page. So, and I really just want to thank everybody for joining us. I can see there's so many comments whizzing by, which is just fantastic. So thank you. And there's been so many hearts and everything. So that's just wonderful. So I'm taking it that you love it as much as we do. Or I hope you do anyway. I'll be back tonight at 8 o'clock here on Julie Hickey Designs Facebook page. I've got lots of lovely new samples to share with you. So please come back. And then I'll be on tomorrow at 10:30 and I will be sharing some inspirations. I'm going to be making something tomorrow. So yeah, I will see you hopefully tonight and if not tomorrow, and have a lovely day. And thank you again for all your fabulous comments. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.